everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. That's right, episode 3 of 4 Under 40. So we're like right in the thick of it with this series here, and we got some returning champs and some new guests. So if you have not watched the previous 2 episodes in this series, where we're trying to determine what is the best bottle under $40, go ahead and watch them. I'll link the last one, episode 2, above here. But if you haven't watched one, go watch that first. Alright, now for a few spoilers. In first place through both episode 1 and 2 is none other than Cooper's Craft Reserve 100. This bottle has dominated episode 1 and 2, easily clinching a first place victory in both. If you're not familiar and is your first time joining us, this is an Old Forester product, around $30 to $33 in most states, not in Pennsylvania. It is charred and then chiseled in the interiors of the barrels to give it extra flavor, and it comes in at 100 proof. So, this is our reigning champ. Will it hang on? You have to watch to find out. Pulling a massive upset last week against Eagle Rare is none other than the Woodford Reserve 2020 holiday bottle here, that particularly this one, but pulled a massive upset. I did not think it was going to place last episode, but it did. It did. It got second, and it's got second in both the first and second episode. So hanging on to its second place lead is the Woodford Reserve. Alright, and now for our new challengers this week. None other than Knob Creek 9-year, 100 proof. Nothing else to say about this bottle except this is one of my favorites. A 375 milliliter small little bottle. Love these bottles. This would make an excellent glass flask when this is empty to put whatever bourbon your heart desires in here. This is the base Knob Creek, in the lineup for Knob Creek. It's a 9-year age-dated product, where I know previously they had the 9 and they kind of got rid of it and they brought it back a couple years ago now. So still 9 years age-dated, still 100 proof. Now the only fun fact on here that we will point out tonight is here on the back it does say per 1.5 ounces 122 calories. So we won't be consuming 1.5 ounces of this tonight, but if you do, please do know it's 122 calories. Up next, the heavy hitter, the Old Grandad 114. Kind of a favorite among the cheaper bourbon crowd for its hefty, you guessed it, 114 proof. Also a Jim Beam product. Let's see if there's any fun facts on here. For those 114 proof, like we said, there is a plastic seal on the front that says 114 proof. That's all that seal says. So I guess it's 114 proof, 57% alcohol by volume. On the back here, though, we do have a little interesting read. Old Grandad 114 is made from a unique recipe that uses more of the costly small grains, which create a distinctive flavor and body. Okay, it's interesting. This fine bourbon is bottled at 114 proof to preserve every drop of that unique character. Look for a lot number in each bottle, signifying the authenticity of Old Grandad 114. So this is lot number 1. No idea what that means, but lot number 1. Also, I will point out here, though, look at the size of the cork. I mean, this is like the fattest cork I've ever seen on a whiskey bottle. Look at the mouth here. It's also like extremely loose. Like, I could not pick this bottle up by the cork. It would fly right out. But this is our other challenger tonight. So 2 heavy hitters. So, to go over the rules of the competition quickly, my wife poured these blind. They're in 4 colored Glencairns here next to me. We're going to go through, taste them, give you a few notes. I will probably go back through them off camera to keep this, not an hour-long episode. and then come up with my winners. The top 2 will be moving on to the next episode where we add 2 more competitors. So, I know a lot of you have been giving, great suggestions. Hey, I want to see this next, I want to see that next. So, Knob Creek 9 and Old Grandad 114 were suggested, so they are in here tonight. And none of those are new bottles. As you can see there, they've all been opened. So, we're not having anything, nothing's a neck pour tonight, for sure. Alright, let's dive into it. First glass here, the old Golden Glencairn. Let's give it a sniff. Gosh, that smells good. I just get caramel. Some oak on this bad boy here. Just a lot of sweet caramels and oak coming through. Brown sugar I'm getting now. Some vanilla in there. Smells delicious. Let's take a sip. That is delicious. A lot of similar notes, like I said. I get the caramel, the oak. Maybe a faint hint of peanut on that, like a roasted peanut. Very good, very pleasant overall. Alright. The Red Glencairn, glass number 2. This smells a little more youthful. Kind of like a box of Frosted Flakes. A lot of caramel though. A lot of caramel and sweetness coming through on this one. Less oak though. I don't really get the oak backbone on this at all like I got from the golden one. Let's take a sip. That's like a bag of peanuts. That literally tastes like someone opened a Planters container and just shoved it down my nose and down my gullet here. It's a little hotter. It's pretty good. Because it's a little hotter, unless the first one was Woodford, which I don't think that it was, that's probably the Old Grandad 114, I think, just because of the proof difference, but we'll find out. Alright, the Blue Glencairn. Gosh, this has a really enjoyable nose. Just tons and tons of caramel in this. Also get a little bit of like a Frosted Flake note here. There's a hint of oak on this one though as well. Let's take a sip. Delicious. Huge pop of caramel. I get like a fine wood taste to this though. Interestingly enough tonight. It's good. I get like the 0 grain box. I get a little pop of caramel. A little bit of vanilla, and then kind of like a wood grain note. Alright. Last but not least, the Green Glencairn. Let's take a sniff. Oh, that also smells delicious. Tell you, for under 40 bucks, none of these are bad. I will say that. Kind of a similar note as all. I mean, these are all kind of, I don't know. At under $40, you're just getting like a lot of generic bourbon, right? These are all roughly the same proof. Well, there's some proof differences, but a lot of generic bourbon flavors. I'm getting less caramel, more oak on this. For sure. Alright, let's give it a sip. That has a very Knob Creek-like taste. It's a little bit nutty. It has like kind of the oak in it. A little bit of caramel and brown sugar on it. But it's like heavy on that nut flavor. More so than some of the other ones. So I'm going to go back through these off camera. And then I will come back with my guesses, rankings, and we will find out together what they are. Alright, we're back. So I went back through these. The order kind of, I don't know, first and fourth were very easy in my mind. Second and third I fought with pretty hard. Alright, so in last place, it was an easy last place for me. The red glass. It had like a little bit of like a maltiness almost to it when I went back through it, and then just like a ton of nuts and like not very well roasted nuts. So it was my least favorite of the night. So let's get the answer key out. Oh, my guess, well, before I get the answer key out, my guess for that was actually the Old Grandad 114. I know that's a favorite of a lot of people. Only reason I guessed that it was a little hotter than the other ones. And, I mean, it should be 14 proof points, though. It didn't feel like 14 proof points hotter, but that was my least favorite. Second and third were the green and the gold here, and I went back and forth and back and forth. They were both very good, and on a different day I might switch these. That's how close they were. I believe, so I'm going to give third place to the green glass because it brought like a lot of oak to the table, and a little bit of nuttiness, but it was missing like some kind of extra dimension. The gold glass drank a little bit sweeter, but had some of that cereal grain note to it. But just for tonight, I preferred that. And my winner tonight was the blue glass. Blue glass was a clear winner. It had the most complexity, just huge caramel, vanilla, and oak. Kind of combined everything, right? The rest of these were kind of a one-note wonder with a slight second note. The blue glass here, though, combined kind of the oak, the caramel, the vanilla, all very well. So that was my winner. I believe that's a Cooper's Craft. I believe the Cooper's Craft will soldier on as the #1 spot. I actually believe Woodford hung in there, which is very surprising to me. I believe that was the gold in second. Third, I believe, was the Knob Creek. And then fourth, like I said, I believe was the Old Grandad 114. So let's see if I was right. Got the answer key here. Last place, red. Old Grandad 114. Ka-chink, cut out, dead last. In third place, and it narrowly missed second, was the green glass. Green was the Knob Creek. I was correct there as well. The gold Glencairn, which was second, was the Woodford. And the blue was the Cooper's Craft. So, in a shocking upset tonight, I'm actually quite shocked at this. Woodford and Cooper's Craft soldier on as first and second. I honestly cannot believe the Woodford is still hanging in here. I mean, this just beat Old Grandad 114 and Knob Creek 9 for me. Now, I do want to preface this with the fact that Knob Creek 9 almost beat this tonight. And if it wasn't for that nice little sweetness and caramel in here, it would have. Now, there was a slight cereal grain note to this that it was good, but wasn't my favorite. But the Knob Creek 9 was kind of just like a one-noted, it's kind of like an oaky nut. That's kind of what it was. And I mean, Knob Creek 9 is kind of the worst of the lineup, right? Everyone prefers the other Knob Creeks to that. But we're here in the under 40 category. I've said it before in these episodes, but I'll say it again in case you have not seen them. This Woodford is a little bit special, and I probably should not have used this in the competition. It was a winter edition for 2020, so I bought it in late 2020, so it's over a year old now. This holiday bottle was better than the shelf Woodford that I had. Now, I don't know if they intend that, but this bottle was a lot better than the regular shelf Woodford. I don't know if all their holiday ones are like that, or the Kentucky Derby ones. If you know, please drop it in the comments. If you think or you know that the holiday bottles are better Woodford, let me know. But we did sample this against a shelf Woodford at the time, and it was a lot better. And I will say air has only improved this bottle. So if you have just a shelf Woodford at home and you're sitting here going, boy, this guy's palate sucks, he has no idea what he's talking about, trust me on that this bottle is better, and I think that's why it's still hanging on. Had this been a regular shelf bottle, it certainly would have been eliminated tonight by the Knob Creek 9. But this bottle in particular is so dang good that it's hanging on. Now, and again, our winner. Now through 3 episodes and loads of contenders, Cooper's Craft Reserve reigns supreme. And I said it earlier before I revealed the answers. This bottle was an easy first place tonight. Easy. Easiest bottle I've ever picked is number 1. Everything else, we had some struggles. But this, head and shoulders above the rest tonight. What a great value. Again, I say this nearly every episode because this is one every episode. If you are not buying this, go buy it now. It's that good. Trust me. It's the best bargain bottle out there at this point. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more. We will be bringing more bottles to this series. Don't you worry. Have a great evening, everybody.